Hello and welcome to another Smurd P video, and tonight's episode we are going to be looking at Uncanny X-Force, and we only have two more episodes after this, and I thought it would be good to have this team of, should we say, killers shared. So we will start with Deadpool. Now here's Deadpool, the X-Force version. Oh, and we wouldn't get through an episode without saying falling down. Yes, that was Deathlock in the background, making his presence felt and irritation by not being in this video as he was in last week's video. And no, now we've got, no, he's back on track. So I was quite happy with this, and this was around the sort of time that Cable and I was reading Cable and Deadpool. So then he became part of this, and I thought, well, how's he going to fit in this? It doesn't make sense. But he actually cares about this team. He actually cares about their mission. You know, he doesn't take the money, etc. So I thought that was quite good. I like this kind of Wade Wilson character. He's currently in, funny enough, he's currently part of the Uncanny Avengers, Steve Rogers' team. I don't think he's become Mr. Hell Hydra where I am reading it. So I really like this figure. I like this buckle. I did have the other version, but you know, now that we've got the new version, I kind of let that go. But this figure still works. If you can get him in the right stand, I don't, these feet kind of irritate me a bit. But he's nice. He comes with these two swords. Let me just try and, oh man, it's not going to come out, is it? Oh, there we go. Nice little sword. Comes with a little pistol. And if I remember correctly, he did come with a bigger gun somewhere in one of my drawers. But yeah, he's definitely definitely a good figure to pick up if you can. I haven't actually seen this figure, so he might be actually quite hard to get. But if you can get him, if you want an X-Force team, he's a must for me. So let's move on to Phantom X. Oh man, that's terrible. Let's move on. Right, so Phantom X was a character introduced in New X-Men, the Grant Morrison run, and he was only in it for, what, a dozen issues, I think, and he was introduced quickly, and then he was gone. It was like he disappeared, and it was bizarre. And then all of a sudden he reappeared in Uncanny X-Force, and I liked him in Uncanny X-Force, this series, this first run. I thought he was kind of cool, you know, this French fraud, should we say, because that's what he is. He's completely flawed. And then they did the second run, the Storms team, and he splits into 3 people, and they're all sleeping with Psylocke, and it's all kind of weird and crazy. And then they make it even worse. Cable's X-Force comes in play, and then he just becomes like this super. Oh, you know what? I ended up not liking this character, but he's currently shown up in Uncanny X-Men, Magneto's team, with Mystique. I haven't got as far to discover where they are, but he's still around. To probably my dismay, I don't really like the character. But, you know, he's interesting, he's different, you know, and he always wears his mask. Who does that, man? Until, apart from that one scene where he got it ripped off by No Face Man. But yeah, I like this figure. It was one of Hasbro's original releases, so sometimes he is hard to find. And, you know, and I'm looking at this, I don't know where it's like, but I just feel like this is perhaps not as wide as what I like it to be. But there we go. I like this figure. You want an Uncanny X-Force team, you gotta have him in it. He's part of the team. Right, so I'm going to show you Psylocke now. And Psylocke, once again, she's become a character since Uncanny X-Force and her popularity overused. And Marvel, they seem to do this. They find a character and everyone's like, oh wow, Betsy's amazing, or Wolverine's amazing, and then bam, they're in everything. And it's like, God, just give the character a break. You're ruining the characters by doing these over the top things with them. You're rushing storylines, and oh, it's just annoying. So this figure is part of the San Diego free pack 2012, I think it was, that this came out. And I've got to say, this figure is the best Betsy Braddock you are going to get. And I like her a lot. I think she's pretty wicked. She comes with the sword. You know, you want a side sword. It would have been cool if you got something to go on her hand. So she, you know, you got like the side knife. And you know, you can stab people in the heads when you play with your toys. I don't usually play with my toys, but you know, if I did, I'd be like, yeah, I want to see you stabbing stuff. Here, stab Magneto. I'm not going to do that. I may damage your figure, right? And these cost money. Right, so yeah, so this figure, I'm going to say this because I'm going to talk about all three of them from this pack in a minute. They're going to be hard to get, and I can imagine very expensive. So unless you have a friend who's decent and reasonable and wants to share and sell them, you're going to struggle to get this. I'm going to be quite honest, unless you're loaded. If I was loaded, I just wouldn't care about buying it. I just, yep, I want that, I'm buying that. I don't care how much it costs. So there we go. Psylocke, aka Braddock, Betsy Braddock, English but Asian because of Mojo and Spiral and Lady Deathstrike, I think. Oh my god, terrible. Right, there we go. Let's move on. Sorry, before we move on, I just want to say this head sculpt is absolutely my favorite head sculpt. Look at those purple eyes. I think they're purple. And she has purple in her hair. And, you know, I don't usually look at figures this close. But, you know, this Psylocke is a Psylocke that you have to have in your Uncanny X-Force team. Nothing can stop you from getting her. Right, sorry, crazy moment. Let's move on. And before we got Hitmonkey Archangel, we had the Archangel. The Dark Saga Angel. Oh my god. I'm really killing it tonight. Right, so this figure is probably one of my favourite from an Archangel point of view. I loved him as Death in this series. It was like it came out of the blue in the X-Force series. You know, 1 minute he's Angel and he's just helping Cyclops and he's bunch of killers, and the next they rip out his wings and oh, he's Archangel back. It's like it was just all hidden behind the big fluffiness, and now he's crazed and he wants to kill Wolfsbane, and he just goes berserk. Basically, you know, every time he turns into him, he's got no real control. And I think perhaps back then, Scott Summers perhaps should have helped a bit more instead of encouraging it. You know, and it kind of led to this whole Uncanny X-Force clean slate. And you would have thought Cyclops knew about him being that, so you would have thought he would have gone to Wolverine and said, what have you been doing? Why has this happened? You know, but hey ho, you're running Utopia with the, you know, most powerful, you get distracted. So this character, I love this character, and currently he's back in Uncanny X-Men. Something's happened in the last 8 months, something that's clearly awoken the beast or death. So I guess we'll find out. But yeah, absolutely love this figure. The wings, they're shinier than the regular Archangels, so they are absolutely beautiful. Just look at that. You know, wow. As a kid, I loved Archangel. I didn't even know about the character then. You know, I was reading comics, and you know, he kind of had his wings, but he was kind of angel again. So yeah, absolutely love this figure, and he is stunning. So yeah, once again, must have. You have to get Archangel if you can. Sorry, I'm not trying to sell you anything, but you know, get him. And here he is, the boss man, Wolverine, and wow, I've got to say, I was really happy. I was going to buy the Hitmonkey one, and then, you know, obviously this came sooner, and he is beautiful. I mean, look at, these got to be, alright, mine I bet, but these are probably the strongest claws that I have ever seen, you know, but they are that. See, look, that's just, that was wonky a minute ago, and now it's like it's perfect, you know, which is really says a lot about this. I don't want to touch it too much, I worry. I'm getting damage to see. Look, that's almost perfect. That's gone a bit wonky. So yeah, this figure is really nice. Meaning, you know, he's got a nice X-Force uniform, nice belt. I love what Wolverine did with his team, and you know, his goals. Okay, they were interesting, and the team that he selected, I think, probably were the best team to have. So, you know, once again, if you can get him, get him. If not, I think with this Wolverine, the Hitmonkey ones out there, you may get that. But I think that was more about the original X-Force uniform, if I remember rightly. He's kind of a bit moody in that. But then they kind of were. It was a dark story from start to finish. So if you can get them all, sorry, damn finger, I keep doing that. If you can get them all, yes, definitely worth it. Phantom X, led by Wolverine, with Archangel, Dark Angel, Psylocke, Deadpool, and if you can get Deathlock, you know, fair enough, he's not in X-Force colours, but he fits nicely. And look at that head sculpt, it's amazing. Right, so next week we have my final 4 figures that I actually have of X-Men, and then I'm going to tell you my top 10 figures. I really need to start thinking about who my top 10 figures are. But yes, thank you for watching. This has been Uncanny X-Force. I'm Smurd P. Like me on Facebook. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me what's annoying. You know, I'm always looking to improve my game when talking to you guys. So have a good evening. Have a good day. Take care.